A false accusation destroyed my life, and 22 years later my family wants to act like nothing happened. I am writing this as a short version of a much longer story. It happened a long time ago, but it still shaped everything I became. I am 41 now. I live in Australia, and I grew up in Adelaide. I had 3 siblings, 1 older brother and 2 younger sisters. From the outside, our family looked normal. We were not rich, but we had what we needed. We had friends. We had family friends who were around so often that they felt like relatives. One of those family friends had a daughter who was close to my sisters and sometimes hung around the house. Our parents treated her like she was part of the family. She came to dinners, holidays, birthdays, and weekend visits. I grew up seeing her as someone who would always be around. I never thought she could be the person who would break my life in half. A few days after I turned 19, we had a birthday gathering. It was not some wild party like people imagine. It was a normal home birthday with friends and family. There were people around, food, and music. I remember feeling happy because I was finally past 18 and felt like an adult. I did not know that within days I would be treated like the worst kind of criminal. After that birthday gathering, the family friend's daughter accused me of sexual assault. The accusation hit like a bomb. I remember how fast everything moved. I barely had time to understand what was even being said before my own parents took her side. My siblings followed my parents. It was like I had suddenly become a stranger in my own home. Nobody sat me down and asked what happened in a calm way. Nobody tried to hear me out. Nobody showed me the basic care you would show a son or brother. The story was accepted as truth, and I was labeled guilty without any real conversation. I was shocked. I was terrified. I was confused. And then the next part happened, which hurt even more. They disowned me. They kicked me out. I was told that I was no longer welcome, no longer their son, no longer part of the family. It was not just anger in the moment. It was a full cutoff. I was 19 and suddenly had no home, no support, and no family standing behind me. The people who were supposed to protect me threw me away. I had nowhere to go in Adelaide. The only person who believed me was my aunt. She lived in Melbourne, about 8 hours away. That day is burned into my memory because of how alone I felt. In 2001, I did not have a mobile phone. Most people I knew did not. When I was kicked out, I had to walk to a phone booth, put in coins, and call my aunt. I asked if I could stay with her. She said yes. That yes saved my life. I packed what I could. I remember taking a taxi to the bus depot. I took a long-distance shuttle bus to Melbourne on the same day. I left my old life behind in a few hours, not because I wanted to, but because I had no choice. When I reached Melbourne, my aunt and her husband took me in. They did not treat me like a burden. They treated me like family. They did what my own parents refused to do. They listened. They believed me. They gave me a room, stability, and time to breathe. They helped me stand up when I was emotionally crushed. The early years were not easy. I was ashamed, even though I had done nothing wrong. I was angry, but most of all I was numb. I struggled to trust people. I struggled to believe that life could ever be normal again. There was also the heavy fear that the accusation would follow me everywhere, even if I did nothing wrong. I kept my head down. I worked. I studied. I tried to rebuild my identity piece by piece. Over time, I finished university. I built a career. I met the woman who became my wife. With her, I finally felt safe again. We created a real home. We now have 2 children, aged 10 and 7. They're my world. They're the reason I am careful about who I allow into my life. I never want them to feel abandoned the way I did. Through all of this, my aunt and her husband stayed constant. They were my rock. Their sons became like brothers to me. Their home became my family center. Even today, my wife and kids visit them often. We have weekly meals together. My children see them as grandparents in the truest sense, because those are the adults who actually showed me loyalty and love. I also made a choice that shows how deep this cut was. At one point, I changed my last name to my aunt's surname. It was not done out of anger alone. It was done because I felt that my real family was the one that stood by me. My name stopped feeling like something I belonged to because the people tied to that name had thrown me away. Then, about 3 weeks ago, in late March, something happened that I never expected. My aunt called me and told me to come over. She said my father and siblings were at her house and wanted to talk to me. At first, I did not want to go. My first reaction was to protect myself and stay away. I had lived 22 years without them. Why reopen the wound now? But my aunt strongly encouraged me to come. She said I should at least hear what they had to say. I trusted her, so I agreed. When I arrived, there they were. My father, my brother, my sisters. They looked older, of course. Time had changed their faces, but I knew instantly who they were. Seeing them in that room felt strange, like watching a scene from a life that no longer belonged to me. I asked them directly what they wanted. They started apologizing. They said they had recently learned, directly from the person who accused me, that the accusation had been false. They said they had found out from her own confession. They cried. They begged. They said they were sorry. They said they wanted forgiveness. They wanted to reconnect. They spoke as if they were trying to fix a broken object, but they did not understand that the object they broke was my trust, my youth, my sense of belonging. As they spoke, I watched them. I listened. I expected to feel rage. I expected my heart to pound. I expected tears, or shaking, or something big. But what surprised me was how empty I felt. Not empty in a sad way. Empty in a distant way. Like I was hearing a story about strangers. When it was my turn to speak, I stayed calm. I told them no. I said I did not want a relationship with them. My older brother pleaded with me to stay and talk it out. He said that we were family. That sentence flipped a switch in me. Not anger. Clarity. I told him directly that they were not my family. They were strangers to me now. I told him my real family was my aunt and her household. Her sons are my brothers. They were the people who stood beside me at my wedding. They were my best man and my groomsmen. They were the ones who supported me when I had nothing. Then I mentioned that I had changed my surname to theirs. My father broke down completely when he heard that. He cried harder. He looked destroyed. But I did not feel satisfaction. I did not feel guilt either. I felt nothing. I realized in that moment that the emotional tie had been cut long ago, and it did not grow back just because they regretted what they did. They wanted me to ask how the truth came out, why the accuser confessed now, what happened in her life, and how my family found out. But I did not ask. I did not want details. I did not want explanations. After 22 years, the reasons did not change the outcome. They still chose to throw me away. They still let me carry that pain alone. I told them not to contact me again. I said that in my life, they were already gone, just like I was gone from theirs back then. I left. After that, my aunt checked on me. She asked if I was okay. She encouraged me to forgive and move forward. I understood why she said it. She's kind. She believes in healing. She also kept a relationship with her older brother, my father, through the years. But she always respected my boundary. I had told her long ago that I did not want updates, and she honored that. I told her I had nothing to forgive because in my heart these people were not my family anymore. Forgiveness is something you offer when the relationship still matters. Here, the relationship died long ago. What I felt was not hatred. It was distance, like a closed door that has been locked for decades. Some people suggest that my family might want something from me, like money or even an organ donation. I do not believe that is the reason. My aunt assured me nobody was seriously sick or dying, and I trust her. Others suggested I should take legal revenge on the person who falsely accused me. I will be honest. In the early years, I thought about it constantly. But as time passed, the need for revenge faded. I built a new life. I stopped giving her space in my mind. That is why I did not confront anyone about why she confessed now. I simply do not care anymore. Some people suggest that I block them. The truth is I do not even need to. I do not live on social media. I have Facebook, but I barely use it. The last time I posted was years ago. They do not have my phone number. They cannot easily reach me. So that is where things stand. They apologized. They cried. They call me family. And I felt nothing. I chose my peace. I chose the life I built. I chose the people who stood by me when it mattered. A father married his daughter's friend, said cruel things, and now cannot accept the consequences. This next story is from a man posting online for advice. He says it is his first time posting and he knows people will judge him, but he still wants guidance. He is 43 years old and says he has only one child, a daughter. He starts by admitting something important. He admits that he ruined the relationship, but he also says it has been 3 years and he does not understand why his daughter cannot get over it. He says he misses her and wants her back in his life. Then he explains what happened. 3 years ago, he married his current wife, who is 21 now. That means she was around 18 when they met, dated, and married. He says the marriage caused backlash from almost everyone around him. He mentions friends, community, family members, his ex, and his daughter. But he insists he had to marry this woman because he believes she is the one for him. He praises her looks and personality, calling her intelligent and kind. He expected his daughter to be upset, but he claims he did not expect her reaction to be so harsh. According to him, his daughter begged him to end the marriage. She also begged his wife to leave him. That created a lot of conflict in the home and between them. Then he admits to what he said to his daughter during that conflict. He told his daughter he wished she had never been born. He told her he resented her. He told her she meant nothing to him. He also admits their relationship was already not great before this, but they still spoke. After he said those things, she stopped speaking to him completely. For 3 years, he had no relationship with his daughter. Then he looked her up online and saw she was engaged. He found out about his own daughter's engagement through social media, not from her. That moment hit him hard. He realized he was missing her milestones. He decided he did not want to miss anymore. He reached out to her through social media, but she blocked him. He asked what he should do now. In edits and follow-up comments, he tries to defend himself. He says he did not meet his wife when she was a minor and says that idea is disgusting. He says he met her when she was 18. He says their relationship was legal and there was consent. He says they dated for 8 months and then got married. He describes his wife as shy and says they chose a private marriage without a big ceremony. He also says his wife and his daughter were not enemies. He describes them as friends. He says his wife came around the house because of his daughter, and over time he and the wife developed a relationship naturally. He admits his daughter was skeptical at first, but he says he truly loves his wife and believes the wife loves him too. He also says people treat his wife like a child, and he finds it insulting because she is an adult who can choose for herself. But many people reading his story were not sympathetic. The common response was that he needed to accept the results of his choices. People told him that when you say something as cruel as wishing your child was never born, you cannot expect them to come back like nothing happened. They told him to leave her alone. They said she likely has someone else who will support her at her wedding. They also pointed out the uncomfortable part of the situation. His wife is close in age to his daughter and was originally part of his daughter's social circle. Many people also questioned how he met the wife and whether the wife was connected to the daughter while still in school. Even if everything was technically legal, people felt the power difference, and the family role made it disturbing. They believed he crossed the line by pursuing someone his daughter knew as a peer. They also felt that the marriage sent a message that his daughter would never be his priority. Then the story continued with an update about 3 weeks after the original post. The man says he got a lot of hate, including threats and accusations, and he claims he is not bothered by it. He repeats that his wife was 18 when they met. Then he shares what happened next. His daughter unblocked him and sent a message. She agreed to meet. He says he felt hopeful. He even thought maybe she finally realized she needed her father. But then she told him the truth. She agreed to meet because his parents pressured her to do it. That hurt him, but he still saw it as a chance. They planned to meet at a local park. On the day of the meeting, he says he made a huge mistake. He lost track of time because he was at home being intimate with his wife. He says one thing led to another, and by the time he remembered, he was already late. He arrived around half an hour after they were supposed to meet. When he finally saw his daughter, he noticed a look from her that made him feel like she expected it, like she had already learned not to hope. He tried to explain without details. He said he lost track of time. She did not accept it. She told him to make his parents stop harassing her. She told him he was not her father anymore. She told him she would never forgive him. She said if he or his parents kept bothering her, she would cut off that side of the family completely. He says he felt angry because he believed his parents did nothing wrong, but he held his tongue. Then his daughter added one more painful detail. She said he was not invited to her wedding. She said another family member on her mother's side would walk her down the aisle instead. He felt broken. He tried to keep talking. He tried to push for reconciliation, but her fiancé showed up and they left. He says she did not even introduce him to the fiancé. He says his parents later blamed him for ruining the chance and embarrassing them. He ends the update saying that at least he still has his wife, but he feels alone, and that with his wife his life still feels worth living. Again, the responses were harsh. People pointed out that he proved the exact thing his daughter feared, that he would always choose his wife over her. Even when given one chance, he was late because he prioritized his own comfort. People told him he should stop pushing. They said he burned the bridge and then acted shocked that it stayed burned. They also warned him that if he keeps pressuring her, she may cut off the entire side of the family. The main theme is simple. He made choices. He spoke cruel words. He kept choosing his new relationship over his child. And now he is facing the reality of what that costs. A mother emotionally punished her son, spiraled into addiction, and the father chose divorce to protect the kids. This story begins in a calmer place. A father describes his family life and how one small moment turned into a major crisis. He says his wife has always been the main cook in their house. She is Italian, and cooking is part of her identity. He says it is one reason he fell in love with her. He has offered to cook or help, but she usually refuses in a firm but polite way. He also says he is not a great cook and did not inherit cooking talent from his parents. So he appreciates her effort and thanks her for meals, and he taught their children to do the same. Over the last year, their son started watching cooking videos online and became interested in learning. The wife was excited and began teaching him. About twice a week, the wife and son would go shopping for ingredients, then cook meals together at home. The father loved seeing them bond because they did not share many interests before that. About a month before the original post, the son asked if he could cook a full meal on his own. The father supported the idea immediately. The wife hesitated, but eventually agreed. That weekend, she took him to buy ingredients, and he started cooking. At first, she supervised, but the son insisted he could handle it. So she stepped back and joined the father and daughter in the living room. She looked sad and left out. The father tried to reassure her that the son still loved cooking with her, and that he simply wanted to try doing it alone once. When the meal was ready, they sat down to eat. The father was surprised at how well the son did. The son made a few mistakes, but overall it was impressive. The father wanted to encourage him, so he praised him while also gently mentioning small things to improve. The father admits that he praised the son more than he usually praises his wife's cooking. The daughter was rude. She insulted the son's food instead of being supportive. The father was about to correct her, but then the wife made a sound, pushed her plate away, and agreed with the daughter. She said the food was too salty and overcooked. The father was shocked. He could see his son's mood drop instantly. The father did not argue in front of the kids. He kept praising the son. Meanwhile, the wife picked at the meal, then took her plate and the daughter's plate to the kitchen. Later, the father checked on his son and found him crying. He comforted him. He told him his mother probably loved the food, but was having a bad day. He tried to protect his son's feelings. That night, after the kids were asleep, he confronted his wife about what she did. At first, she brushed it off. He pushed for the real reason. Then she got angry and said he praised their son far more than he ever praised her. The father was caught off guard. He did not expect jealousy toward their own child. He reacted badly and scoffed, almost laughing at the idea. That made her furious. They argued. Eventually, he explained he praised the son to encourage him, not to compare him to her. She admitted she had been too harsh. She said she would apologize to the son. The father thought the issue was solved, but then the next problem appeared. On Monday, while driving the son to school, the father noticed the son was quiet and looked like he had been crying. The father asked what was wrong. The son tried to hide it, then admitted the truth. After the father left to start the car, the mother told the son she would be cooking alone from now on. She was cutting him out of cooking completely. The father was furious but stayed calm with the child. He told him he would handle it. He bought his son a snack to comfort him, then dropped him at school. The father left work early to talk to his wife before the kids returned. He admits he did not manage the conversation well. It became a shouting match. He called her childish for punishing their son because she was upset with him. She called the boy a baby and said he should not be sad. She also said cooking was not a man's job anyway. That statement revealed something deeper, not just jealousy, but a harsh belief system and a willingness to hurt their child to prove a point. After that fight, they tried to cool down, but the wife did not stop. When the kids came home, the wife took the daughter out shopping and came back with toys and clothes. The father realized she was creating a reward system for the daughter while ignoring the son, as a way to punish the father and the child at the same time. That night, the father told her she could not use the family money to punish one child and spoil the other. They argued again. The father started sleeping in the guest room, and that continued for a month. During that month, the wife kept showering the daughter with attention and gifts and affection, while giving the son the bare minimum. She still called him for dinner and did laundry, but emotionally she ignored him. The son felt it. The daughter noticed it too and began using it to tease her brother, bragging about what her mother did for her. The father tried to balance things by taking both kids out sometimes, but it did not fix the damage at home. The father talked to his parents and brother. They agreed the wife was wrong, but they downplayed it and thought it would pass. The father did not agree. He felt responsible because he triggered the fight by praising his son, but he also saw that his wife's reaction was extreme and cruel. He began falling out of love with her because he could not accept her hurting their child. He asked what to do and how to bring up therapy. In the comments, people urged him to take it seriously. They told him emotional neglect is a form of abuse. They said counseling was urgent and that he might need to remove his son from the home if the behavior continued. The father replied that if his wife was harming the child physically, he would act immediately, but he was trying to avoid making the son feel like he was being removed for the mother's sake. He said the son was open with him and described it mostly as being ignored. The father also noted the daughter had started to realize the behavior was wrong and even apologized to her brother in tears, which showed the situation was affecting both children. Then the father posted an update. After reading reactions, he realized it was worse than he thought. The first thing he did was take his son to his parents' house and have his son explain what was happening directly. He believed his parents would take it more seriously if they heard the pain from their grandson, instead of only hearing it from him. It worked. His parents finally understood and supported his next steps. His plan was to make his wife leave the home temporarily until she worked through whatever was driving her behavior. He also consulted a lawyer. The lawyer advised him to prepare divorce papers just in case, because in Canada the process can be slow unless specific requirements are met, like a long separation or proof of serious wrongdoing. Even if he was unsure, having papers ready would protect him and the children. The next Saturday, he brought the kids to his parents' house, then returned home with his mother. His mother spoke to the wife first. After that, the father told his wife she needed to leave the house until she addressed the issue. Surprisingly, the wife agreed. He believes hearing it from his mother, whom she was close with, may have pushed her to accept reality. He offered options: stay with his parents for now, or he would pay for a motel nearby. He also told her therapy was mandatory if she wanted any chance to fix things. She began weekly sessions. The children spent nights with the grandparents during the move. The parents explained to the kids in an age-appropriate way that their mother would be staying elsewhere while working on herself. The son understood better. The daughter was upset and confused, but they calmed her. For about a month, things seemed to improve. The wife attended therapy. The father met her for dinners with the kids a few nights each week. The wife acted better toward the son. The father felt hopeful that real progress was happening. Then everything collapsed again. After her 5th therapy appointment, the wife sent a long set of angry messages. She accused the father of being cruel and trying to take the children away. She accused him of cheating. The father tried to call, but she turned off her phone. He contacted his mother and learned the wife had left his parents' house earlier that day with all her belongings without warning. The father could not get clear answers about what happened next. The best he could piece together was that the wife talked to a close friend, and that friend fueled her anger, convincing her that the father was plotting against her. The wife moved in with a friend and went on a week of heavy partying, drinking, and drug use. The father says they used to party when younger, so the friend may have pushed her into reliving that lifestyle. A week later, the father received a message from the friend insulting him and claiming the wife was sleeping with a younger man. The father demanded to speak to his wife, but got no reply. He took screenshots of the message as evidence. Then, early Sunday morning, he got a call from hospital. His wife had overdosed and was brought to the emergency room by someone who did not stay. The hospital contacted him because he was listed as her emergency contact. He called his mother to watch the kids and went to the hospital. Doctors stabilized the wife. The father stayed for hours while she drifted in and out. When she fully woke up, she started apologizing. The father learned more details about her week with the friend. He asked directly if she had cheated. She did not answer, which he took as confirmation. He stayed calm and told her the hospital was not the place for a relationship argument. The next morning, he took her back to his parents' house so she could recover. Before leaving, he placed divorce papers beside her bed and told her he expected her to sign within a week. He also said he had proof that she cheated during the week she disappeared. He had warned his parents in advance, so he was not dumping chaos on them. He kept the children protected from the most adult details. He told them their mother was moving out and working on getting better, and that they would see her less for now. He planned to tell them more carefully later, closer to school break, so it would not disrupt their learning. After that, the wife's behavior became unstable. She called repeatedly, sometimes begging for another chance, sometimes screaming and threatening him. Her friends and family also began messaging him with insults and threats. He saved screenshots of everything. Now the father is certain he wants a divorce. He wants full custody because he does not trust his wife's choices and does not want the kids around that chaos. His parents support divorce, but they question his timing because she was fresh out of the hospital. He wonders if he should delay the paperwork until she is more stable, but he also fears waiting will only expose the children to more harm. He also has therapy planned for the kids soon to help them process what is happening in a safe way. That is where the third story ends. A man trying to protect his children from emotional harm, then from addiction-driven chaos, while also managing guilt, legal concerns, and the reality that sometimes love is not enough when a parent becomes unsafe. These three stories all hit the same nerve in different ways. In the first story, the damage comes from betrayal and abandonment, and the main character survives by building a new family and refusing to reopen the wound. In the second story, the damage comes from selfish choices and cruel words, and the main character wants forgiveness without truly respecting what he destroyed. In the third story, the damage starts small, but reveals something deeper, and the main character learns that protecting children must come before protecting a marriage.